In this video, we're going to look at the idea of a probability distribution table. So, by mistake, two faulty smartphones are put into a box containing three good smartphones. The faulty and the good smartphones become mixed up and are indistinguishable by sight. You take two smartphones from the box. What is the probability that you take A, no faulty smartphones, B, one faulty smartphone, C, two faulty smartphones? Place these probabilities into a probability distribution table. So drawing a tree diagram. So first of all, for the first phone you take out, it could either be faulty or not faulty. Probability of being faulty is 2 out of 5. It's 2 out of 5 because there are 5 phones altogether, 2 plus 3, and 2 of them are faulty. Therefore, this probability here of not being faulty is going to be 3 out of 5. You've now taken one phone out. So, for the second phone, it could be faulty or not faulty. If the first one was faulty, the probability the second one is faulty is now 1 out of 4. It's 1 out of 4 because you've taken one faulty phone out. So the 2 goes down to a 1. And then there are now only 4 phones to choose from because you've taken one out. This one, therefore, must be 3 out of 4. Now, the probability of not being faulty here is going to be out of 4 because there's now 1 less. But because the first one was not faulty, then there's only 2 left out of 4 which can be not faulty. This one, therefore, would also have to be 2 out of 40 because all these have to add up to 1. Working out the probabilities. Probability of being faulty and faulty is 2/5 times 1/4, which as a decimal is 0.1. 2/5 faulty, the probability of being faulty and not faulty is 2/5 times 3/4, which gives you a probability of 0.3. The probability of being not faulty and then the second one faulty is 3/5 times 2/4, which is 0.3 again. And the probability of both of the phones not being faulty is going to be 3/5 times 2/4, which is going to be 0.3. So here we have the case, because we're interested in no faulty phones, one faulty smartphone, and 2. Here we have the case of both being faulty. That's 2 faulty. Here we have one case of one phone being faulty, and here we have another one. And here we have the case where, here we have the case of 2 being faulty, here we have the case of 1 being faulty, and here we have the case of 1 being faulty, and here we have the case of none being faulty, Right, these events are mutually exclusive, so we'll just draw out the diagram again. So, to answer the question for probability of no faulty phones, that's going to be this one here, which is 0.3. The probability of one faulty smartphone, well, there's 2 cases where that can happen. They're both mutually exclusive events, so you can add them together. So it's 0.3 plus 0.3, which makes 0.6. And the probability of 2 faulty smartphones is going to be this case here, which gives me 0.1. Now, you can put these probabilities into a table. Just one last thing, notice that these are all obviously 0.3 plus 0.6, 0.1 do add up to 1. Now, you can put these into what's known as a probability distribution table. The table looks like this. We've got this idea of x, which I'll talk about in a minute, and we've got the x can take on values of 0, no faulty, 1 faulty, and 2 faulty. And here we got the probability that x is equal to x. We've got 0.3, 0.6, and 0.1. Now, what does the big X mean? Well, the big X is called a discrete random variable. Discrete because these can only take on exact values. X stands for, in this case, the number of faulty smartphones. And it's important you understand what the notation means, what this notation means. E.g., the probability that big X is equal to 1, which is this case here, means the probability of the number of faulty smartphones is equal to 1, and the answer, the probability, is 0.6. That's what it means. The probability that x is equal to 2 would be this one. The probability that x is equal to 0 is 0.3. So this random variable, this discrete random variable, can only take on values none, 1 and 2. The other important thing is, for a discrete random variable, if you sum all the probabilities, it has to be equal to 1. So for this to be a discrete random variable, these three probabilities, and the table can have 4 or 5 columns or even more, but the probabilities must add up to 1. This has been a video to introduce the idea of a probability distribution table. I hope you've understood, and I thank you very much for watching.